Hello, I'm Ian, Somerset News Network. More about Rupert Lowe. Nigel Farage gave a press release today saying that he's going to wait until the KC has looked at it and given them the report. And that's it. It's basically all he said. Washed his hands of it. They're trying to make it go away. Now, people are talking about this all over the place. Yes, we do not like the way that Rupert Lowe has been treated. Now, the rumour was that Rupert Lowe was bullying his staff. That was then squashed because the two girls involved said it was nothing to do with him. Then it came out that Rupert Lowe had threatened to slit the throat of the Reform chairman. Now it gets blown out of all proportion. The chairman then reports him to the police, or I think it's him. But Rupert Lowe says that his comment was made in his office, in front of his staff, and he said that Reform has just slit its own throat. Nothing to do with the chairman. Now, did one of the staff within Rupert Lowe's office tell tales out of school, or is Rupert Lowe's office bugged? That's the only two ways that it could have got out. I don't know the answer. This has all been rumours. One of the girls in Rupert Lowe's office is suspended, I think, I'm told, and is under parliamentary HR investigation. Now, are those the two girls that were fighting? I don't know. There's just so much, fog around all this story. I don't think Rupert Lowe should have been treated like it is, and they shouldn't have been washing their dirty linen in public. Somebody in Reform does not want Rupert Lowe around. Personalities, he was getting too popular, too outspoken. He was saying what Nigel Farage was saying when he was out in the boats, watching the illegals come in, that they wanted them deported. That's all he's saying, is what was Reform policy. But now, Farage is pulled back from that, saying that he only wants migrants that have committed crimes deported. Why? Is it because the chairman is Muslim and Farage has got this idea that he's going to get the Muslim vote to get into Parliament? Shouldn't have anything to do with religion. This should be the people, us. Shouldn't have anything to do with religion whatsoever. Will this put Farage in a position where he has to bow down to Islamist ideas? Will he have to okay the idea of Sharia courts? Will he, if he becomes Prime Minister, bring in Sharia law? A lot of questions to answer. Do you see where this is going? I would say 90% of Reform members don't even understand what's going on. Now, this is what I think. This is what I believe is happening. I can't prove it. But I'm just looking at it thinking, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I accept what Reform stood for at the last election. Reform have now pulled back from a lot of those ideas. The way they treated Rupert Lowe, I can no longer support them. That wouldn't stop me if I get a good candidate in my constituency. That wouldn't stop me voting for them, because I would be voting for the man, not necessarily for the party. The other rumour that's going round is that Habib and Lowe are going to form a new party backed by Elon Musk. Got no proof of that. It's just the rumour that's going round. If they start a party, would I join it? I'd seriously consider it. I'd support them with YouTube videos with no problem at all. And if I think they're wrong, I can say so. And if I'm going to join, I will think about it at the time. But if the independent YouTubers, and I don't count me into that, I haven't got enough views to worry about. I'm getting 20, 30 views a video. So I'm not going to say I got any influencer. That's not me. I'm just saying what I think. And if you agree with me, say down below. And even if you don't agree with me, say it down below. If the new party is set up, it's got to be set up under our constitution. Because if you take the oath to be an MP, you fight for our constitution anyway. So there's no problem at all with a political party explaining what our constitution is. Now, my expertise is old Acts of Parliament, and how old Acts of Parliament should be seen and viewed as the principal backbone of our legal system. We've got the Magna Carta, but a lot of the Magna Carta has been repealed, and we have to find out whether it was legal to repeal the Magna Carta. Now, the Magna Carta was 1215. We also had a confirmation of the Magna Carta in 1297. Now, does that mean that the original Magna Carta that they say they've repealed, does that now put that into law? Because that hasn't been repealed. And that was confirming the original Magna Carta. But what they did is during the 1800s, when people were moving from villages to towns, the big estates were growing up, and they took the common land away from the people. And by reforming and repealing parts of the Magna Carta, it allowed them to do that. Then there's due process of law. That comes from an Act of Parliament of 1354. Yes, it's in an old Act of Parliament, 700 years ago. We have these rights and liberties. Oh, there's another one. There's another couple in the 1400s, 1434 or something. Liberties of the subject. Franchises well used and not repealed should be upheld. Then we got the big one. We had the tyranny of James II. He wouldn't allow Protestants to hold government positions. He disarmed the Protestants. We were under tyranny of the Catholic king. As a Somerset lad, that's what I was brought up on. The Sedgemoor Rebellion. It's called the Pitchfork Rebellion. Today, we have the tyranny of Starmer. And all the new rules that he's bringing in. He's having a go at farmers. He's having a go at people with iPhones, taking the security off of it. He's having a go at pensioners, stop their winter fuel payments. He's now talking about reducing PIP off of the disabled. Now, I can understand the government checking whether people should have PIP or not, or whether they're fit enough for it. I know a couple of people in the town here that have never worked and always been on the dole and on social, and I expect they're getting PIP as well. You know, and they should never have had it to start with. One guy hadn't worked for 30 years. He started off as the carer for his wife, and his wife wasn't that disabled. Then when they split up, he became disabled and got social security. The council gave him a flat, a 2-bed flat, when he should have only had a 1-bed flat because he was on his own. He told the council that his son lived with him, but the son was living with grandmother. And I expect he's still getting the council tax paid for by social security. And he's running 4 companies. I don't expect any of the companies are making lots of money, but he's running 4 separate companies. I don't expect he's ever filled in a tax return. I fill in a tax return every year. Last year I had to pay £750 tax. That was a bit of a shock, because I'd never earned enough money to pay tax. But if we can sort out what our constitution is and how it can relate to modern day living, then we've got a chance. And I thought Reform Party would have been the one to do it, but I think a new party's gonna have to come. You know, and I think we're gonna have to make an agreement with Reform that we don't fight the same seats, because all we'll do is split the centre-right vote. Anyway, more about this later. I'm gonna sign off now. I've talked for long enough. Bye bye.